Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello, divas. Thank you so much for tuning into our show. My name is Candace Gish, and I am the host of Divas That Care. Well, you know, ladies, we are going to have such a great show today. We have another young diva, I'd love to call her, that has just joined our family, and we're really excited. We're going to be interviewing her today. She's going to be sharing some of the amazing things that she does and how she's wanting to change the world, too. I just love it. I just love all these amazing young girls that are coming onto our program right now and sharing the things that are important to them. And Danielle Rothschild is going to be sharing what is important to her. So, Danielle, welcome to our show. I am so very excited that you're on today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited about the show.
Well, we're very excited to have you. I had my amazing assistant Joyce find you. And I think when she shared about your story to me, I thought this was just a fantastic thing. And I really wanted to, end our 2018 on a really high note with all these amazing young girls that are doing things out in their communities right now. So, Danielle, if you would want to spend a couple minutes here, can you talk a little bit about yourself, who you are, and the things that you're doing?
So I am from the suburbs of Indianapolis, and I am currently a freshman at Purdue University, which is in Indiana. On campus, I'm involved in being in a sorority. I'm also on a committee to help Riley Children's Hospital and dance marathon. But one of my biggest things I love doing right now is I actually started my own nonprofit, and I can talk a little bit about that if you want me to.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
So it's called Danielle Cares for Chairs, and what I do is I take the itty-bitty plastic spine on the ends of your bread, your potatoes, your fruits, your vegetables. I take those to a recycling plant, and in exchange, I get proceeds, which then goes to buy children mobility products.
Oh, my goodness. And what do you mean by mobility products?
So your wheelchairs and all sorts of products for kids. So, like, for example, one of my favorite products to give out is, when you're little and you used to drive those power cars. So kids who have mobility problems, so maybe they can't use their legs, what I do is I work with robotics teams, and we adapt them to the kids' need.
Okay. And what made you decide to do something like this? I think that's going to be let's go back a little bit here, because I want to ask, why did you decide to get those little bread tags? Because that's something that people are like, oh, well, I have those in my house all the time. Why did you want to do that?
So when I was in high school, I was involved in an organization called FCCLA, which stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, which focuses on family values, leadership, how you help out your community. And they had competitive events. And in high school, I used to do a category called Recycle and Redesign, where I made recyclable dresses in the past. So my freshman year of high school, I decided to make a dress out of shower poofs. My sophomore year, I decided to make a dress out of cupcake liners, so a whole wedding dress. And then my junior year, I made a dress out of bread tags. And this was inspired by the 1920s. And when I was done, I had about 40,000 left over. So I researched what I could do with them, and I actually found a foundation in South Africa called Bread Tags for Wheelchairs, which was started by an 80-year-old woman, and she took the bread tags, brought them to a recycling plant where she bought people wheelchairs. And I was 16 years old at the time, and I said, well, if a 16-year-old can do this, I know if an 80-year-old woman can do this, so can a 16-year-old. And so I reached out to this 80-year-old woman, and I have been the only one in North America who has done the nonprofit for bread tags since.
Oh, my goodness. That is so inspiring. And
Thank
to think
you.
that you're doing all this. Yeah, I love that. And I had the opportunity to see some of your pictures on your social media and stuff, and you have got boxes and boxes of these bread tags. How do you get these? Do people send them to you? How do you collect these?
So it's so simple. All you do is you take a bread tag, you put them in a bucket, and then send them to me. What's really cool is how all these people from all over North America are finding out who I am, which I am so in from your home country of Canada. I have people from Nova Scotia, which I find really amazing. And all you have to do is collect the bread tags, but this brings up to an issue I have, is shipping. So right now, I'm having issues getting shipping costs. So if any of you guys out there know anybody that can help me with the cost of shipping, please contact me on social media, on my website, Danielle Cares for Chairs, or anywhere. I would love that.
Well, we will definitely get that information out there for you. Okay, well, Danielle, I think this is a great topic today. Okay, so one of the questions I have, you said that you collect these bread tags and then you bring them to a recycling location and then they donate back to you money that you put towards mobility products? Is that how it works?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So
I think that's neat. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. Explain a little bit more about that because I love the concept. I like the concept of recycling. It's always something that we've always done. I know in Canada we do a lot up here, and in the United States, it's definitely becoming a more prominent down there that more people are getting involved in that. And this is probably a good topic that we can talk about because I think more and more families are probably thinking, okay, what can we do to recycle a little bit better?
Yeah, so bread tags are made from a number 6 polystyrene. And the thing about recycling is I was actually watching a documentary over 60 minutes that 90% of your home recyclable is really not recyclable. And what I really want to educate you guys on is the different sorts of recyclables. So here I'm just focusing on one item, which is the number 6 polystyrene bread tag, and that has to be brought to a special recycling plant. And lucky for me, there is one recycling plant that specializes that right by my hometown. But if you guys want to take your idea and find something you're passionate about with recycling, find out what number it is, and then find a recycling plant that specializes in that to really help sorting your recyclables to make sure they don't just end up in the landfill. Because the issue is when you bring all your recyclables together, it sometimes will start to break down the machines.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Is there, maybe this is something that you can help our listeners with, Danielle, is there a cheat sheet saying what kind of things that people could recycle if they had the opportunity, and then maybe our listeners can take that sheet and find out what would work for their family?
Yeah, so if you could just Google online the different types of recyclables, that's what I did, and find your passion. So say your passion is a coffee pod. You can find out what type of recyclable your coffee pod is, and then research where the recycling plant that takes that number and reach out to them. So that is my best piece of advice. And the thing is, anybody can make this difference. I am just one girl, and I have collected about 3 million bread tags. You can be 16, you can be 75. Just find your cause, and you can really make a difference.
Thank you so much, Danielle. Okay, so now let's talk about these dresses that you're making, this clothing, and that you're using with recycled materials. I love that. I've had the opportunity to, meet different designers over the years and different people that are doing great things like you. And I love that because I've seen videos, but I want to hear about what you're doing.
So I have made now 4 recyclable dresses. I actually just made one this past week on my holiday break. So this newest dress I made is a holiday dress, so it's half Christmas, half Hanukkah, and I had somebody collect me bread twisty ties, which is okay, and I figured out that they're not recyclable because they're made from both plastic and metal, so I don't like to put things to waste, so I love to make 3 design dress. So I took the bread twisty ties and I twisted them, made them into little rosettes, and made them onto a dress. So that was my newest creation. And then once again, my other dresses I made was a shower proof, so those little ruffles that you can cut them up and make them little ruffles. And then I made a dress out of cupcake liners, a whole wedding dress, and then my bread tag dress, which was inspired by the 1920s.
I love that. And, not a lot of people would think to do something like that. Were you inspired? Was it maybe a teacher that inspired you to do that? Like, what kind of I think that probably the listeners today was like, what would have inspired you to do something so original like that?
Thanks. So for my butt tag dress, I was actually eating at my favorite hamburger place. And I've kind of been somebody that's always aware of my surroundings, and that's how I kind of come up with my creative ideas. So I saw an employee throw away a butt tag, and that's when I thought, oh, I can make a dress out of this. But then my whole inspiration was from my family consumer science advisor, who was for my FCCLA, and she was sitting with me. And she, my freshman year, told me that she thought I was very creative and that I could do something for recycle and redesign. And so that's kind of how this whole recycle and redesign project got started, and from my freshman year of high school.
Well, it's always great when we have these amazing people in our lives that mentor us and inspire us to do the things that we were meant to do. And I think that's what you've done. You've really, and any of our listeners out there, if you've got a chance, I'm going to be posting some of the things about Danielle on our Facebook. But Danielle has a lot of has had a lot of interviews and social media stuff done about her, and it's just quite fascinating, Danielle. And I just said I really love it. Do you have a lot of volunteers? Like, I know you do this probably mostly by yourself, but is there volunteers that assist you in your charity, or is this something like obviously you're wanting to inspire others to maybe start their own?
So like what I said, I found really cool is how people from all over the United States are finding me. What I find really cool right now is there's actually a student who's at college in the state of Washington who she saw what I'm doing, and she started her own collection with the bread tags in Washington, and she's getting hospitals and all these places to collect, and eventually she wants to give out a mobility product there. So I'm really inspired to hear how these people are hearing about me and really want to help take on my project.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be amazing to be able to lock arms with all these amazing individuals that are doing something similar to you in not just the United States, perhaps will inspire more people up here in Canada and other parts of the world that they can do that, and you guys can, throw ideas off each other. I think that would be fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I really do find it amazing. Like in Canada, if you ever want to collect your bread tags and get a big quantity, you can contact me, and I can definitely help you guys get mobility products out.
Oh, wow. That would be fantastic. So we're just going to be posting that. We're throwing it out in the universe right now, all of our listeners, that if you know of somebody that would love to work with Danielle in this, I think that you guys could do some amazing things. Okay. So, Danielle, what other things do you have going on? I know that you're a busy university student now. You're doing this. So what kind of other things are you doing?
Right now, like I said, I'm really big into my sorority. What I love into my sorority is that we have so many philanthropies events, and we help out people, which is really amazing. So I'm really big into helping all different philanthropies out, not just mine. And then being on Dance Marathon, where I stand 18 hours to help kids at Riley.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So I don't know if you guys have it in Canada, but in the United States we have something called Dance Marathon. And what that is we stand, like at Purdue University, we stand 18 hours for the kids at Riley Children's Hospital, where we dance for them, we dance and we raise money to help those kids out. So I really enjoy helping that out.
Oh my goodness. So you definitely are volunteering in a lot of different things, and really probably inspiring a lot of your peers out there too to do things like this.
Yeah, but it's not just, I get inspired by everybody else is doing too, because I feel like there's so many amazing, we're really helping make our generation great. There's just so many inspiring stories, and I get inspired by what other kids are doing. So I really just love hearing what everybody is doing too and help them out.
I think that's great, Danielle. I think that absolutely great, because I agree with you. I think that, and that's why here on Divas That Care, we want to showcase all these amazing girls that are doing stuff out there, just because it inspires us also, people that have been around for a little bit longer, and because we want to know what's happening. We want to make, make sure that we're helping out in as many ways as we can also. So when we hear stories like yours, it's like, okay, how can we go and assist Danielle to making her dreams come true too? Okay, so Danielle, how can our listeners reach out to you? How can they find you on social media also?
So if you just want to Google Danielle Cares for Chairs, I have a website, I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, a LinkedIn, so you can contact me there. And I also would love to hear your cool stories too if you have anything going on. And I also want to make sure you cherish your bread tags.
I love it. Danielle, you are such an amazing young woman, and I am so excited to follow your story to see all the great things that you're going to be doing. So for any of our listeners out there, I will be, as I said, posting all of Danielle's stuff on our social media. And if any of you that are part of our Changemakers Cafe, I'm going to be adding Danielle to that, so perhaps you could get to know her and network and lock arms with her, because I know Danielle's got some great things that she's aspiring to doing with this, and I think there's a lot of our listeners and individuals in our tribe that would be perfect to assist her in this. So, Danielle, you are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming onto our show through your Christmas vacation, and I hope that you come back on our show again soon.
Yeah, I would love to, and thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed sitting and chatting with you today.
Oh, it was my pleasure. It was so much fun. And also, listeners, Danielle is going to be sharing her story in our upcoming Young Divas That Care book. And we're excited to feature her with a whole bunch of other amazing young ladies out there doing what they are doing. So you'll definitely have to pick that up when it comes out next year. Again, Daniela, thank you so much. Thank you to all of our amazing listeners. All of our shows are recorded, so you make sure that you take Danielle's show and you send it on to your friends and family, because I know that they're going to love it and they're going to be absolutely inspired, just like I am today. All right, everybody. Thank you, Danielle, again. Thank you to all of our listeners. Make sure you check out our website at divasthatcare.com. And until next time, I hope that you guys have an amazing day. You have a fantastic Christmas season and have a fantastic 2019. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
You know that feeling you used to get as a kid? That feeling of wonder, magic. Well, who said it had an age limit? At Lexus, we think life should always be filled with moments of awe and amazement. Capture your imagination with a Lexus. Hurry in and experience inspired design and performance at the Lexus December to Remember event.
Lease a 2019 Lexus NX 300 for as low as 0.9% APR with delivery credits up to $2,000. Visit your local Lexus dealer for details.